Ladies and gentlemen, there's a saying that goes, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a moment. Who are those 5 people in your life? What kind of energy do they bring into your world? Your environment is a powerful force that shapes your thoughts, actions, and ultimately, your life. It influences your beliefs, determines your energy, and affects how you see yourself and the world around you. Surround yourself with play a significant role in crafting this environment, which is why the company you keep is one of the most critical decisions you'll ever make. Imagine this. You're working on a big dream, something that excites you, yet challenges you. Now picture sharing that dream with 2 different groups of people. The first group listens, encourages you, and perhaps even shares insights or ideas to help you succeed. They inspire you to believe that what you're striving for is achievable and worth pursuing. Their energy fuels your fire. Now consider the second group. These individuals greet your dream with doubt, criticism, or even subtle indifference. They might tell you it's unrealistic, not worth the risk, or suggest that you'll probably fail. Their skepticism isn't always direct. It can show up in casual remarks or even their body language. Over time, their energy doesn't just dampen your enthusiasm. It plants seeds of self-doubt. This simple illustration shows the power of association. The people you allow into your inner circle influence your mindset, sometimes in ways that aren't immediately obvious. If you're surrounded by people who encourage growth and positivity, they will naturally elevate your thinking. Their belief in you will amplify your belief in yourself, and their example will inspire you to take action. On the other hand, if your environment is filled with negativity, complaints, or mediocrity, that energy will subtly pull you in the same direction. Energy is contagious, and emotions are highly transferable. When you spend time with individuals who radiate optimism and a solution-oriented mindset, it creates a ripple effect in your own behavior. You find yourself looking at challenges differently. You're more motivated to take on new opportunities because you're buoyed by their support. You start to feel like anything is possible because you're surrounded by people who act as a living reminder of that truth. Conversely, negativity is just as infectious. Being around people who focus on problems rather than solutions, who dwell in pessimism or blame, gradually drags you into that same mindset. It's not intentional on their part. It's simply the nature of human interaction. We absorb the energy of those closest to us, often without even realizing it. This is why you must choose your associations with intention. Look for people who inspire you, challenge you to grow, and push you to be your best self. These are the people who make you want to raise your standards and reach new heights. They might not always tell you what you want to hear, but they'll always tell you what you need to hear. That's the kind of support system that strengthens you. It's also important to recognize that your circle can evolve as you grow. People who were once a positive influence might no longer align with your values or aspirations. That's okay. Relationships don't always have to end with conflict. Sometimes they simply reach their natural conclusion. Is to ensure that your environment continues to serve your growth. Remember, association doesn't just mean direct contact. The books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the content you consume, these are all forms of association. If you're filling your mind with wisdom and ideas that challenge and uplift you, you're building an inner circle that extends beyond the people you physically interact with. Ultimately, the power of association lies in its subtlety. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become like the people around you. It happens gradually, through 1,000 small interactions and shared experiences. That's why it's so important to be mindful of who you allow into your space. Because over time, their influence becomes a part of who you are. Choose your circle wisely, for it will either propel you toward your dreams or pull you away from them. Surround yourself with people who reflect the best version of who you want to become, and you'll find that overcoming negativity and striving for greatness become a natural part of your journey. When it comes to relationships, the sheer number of people in your life matters far less than the depth and quality of your connections. In a world that often celebrates popularity, networking, and social clout, it's easy to believe that having a large circle is the ultimate goal. But the truth is, meaningful relationships aren't about quantity. They're about the value they bring to your life and the authenticity they carry. Think about the people who truly make a difference in your life. They're the ones who understand you, support you, and challenge you to grow. These individuals aren't just acquaintances or casual friends. They're the anchors of your personal and emotional well-being. They bring consistency, trust, and a sense of belonging that no amount of surface-level connections can replicate. A small, tight-knit group of genuine relationships provides the stability and strength needed to navigate life's ups and downs. These are the people you can turn to when you face challenges, celebrate successes, or need guidance. They know the real you, your dreams, your fears, and your struggles, and they accept you for who you are while encouraging you to be your best self. Contrast this with a large, superficial circle. While having a broad network can be useful in certain contexts, such as career opportunities or social events, it often lacks the emotional depth and reliability that true connections offer. Shallow relationships can leave you feeling isolated, even in the midst of a crowd. When you're surrounded by people who don't truly know or care about you, their presence becomes noise rather than support. Quality relationships foster an environment of mutual respect and understanding. These connections are built on honesty and trust, where both parties feel safe to express themselves without fear of judgment. In such relationships, there's no need for pretense or masks. You can be vulnerable and authentic, knowing that you're valued for who you are. Moreover, smaller, closer circles allow for deeper investment in each relationship. When you have fewer people vying for your time and energy, you can dedicate yourself more fully to those who matter most. This leads to richer experiences, stronger bonds, and a greater sense of fulfillment. Instead of spreading yourself thin, you can pour your efforts into nurturing and maintaining the relationships that truly contribute to your happiness and growth. In a small circle, accountability also thrives. The people in your inner circle aren't afraid to call you out when you stray from your values or goals. They hold you to a higher standard because they want to see you succeed. This kind of accountability is rare in larger groups, where interactions are often too fleeting or superficial to foster meaningful growth. It's also important to recognize that quality relationships are a two-way street. They require effort, communication, and a willingness to give as much as you receive. When both parties are equally invested in each other's well-being, the connection becomes a source of strength and positivity. One of the most profound aspects of quality over quantity in relationships is the impact it has on your mental and emotional health. Being surrounded by a few trusted individuals who truly care about you can provide a sense of security and stability that helps you weather life's storms. It reduces feelings of loneliness, enhances your self-esteem, and creates a foundation of support that you can rely on. At the same time, quality relationships, being selective about who you allow into your inner circle. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. It's okay to set boundaries and distance yourself from those who don't align with your values or who bring negativity into your life. In fact, it's necessary. The relationships you cultivate should reflect the kind of life you want to lead. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and bring out the best in you. Choose those who celebrate your successes without jealousy, who stand by you in difficult times, and who genuinely want to see you thrive. It's not about how many people are in your life. It's about having the right people. A small circle of high-quality relationships can provide you with more joy, growth, and support than a vast network of acquaintances ever could. When you focus on building and maintaining these meaningful connections, you'll find that your life becomes richer, your perspective brighter, and your path forward clearer. Your mind is one of those precious assets you possess. And just like any valuable resource, it requires protection. The thoughts you entertain, the words you hear, and the energy you absorb all contribute to the landscape of your inner world. Negativity, if left unchecked, can seep into your thoughts and emotions, affecting your outlook on life and your ability to move forward with confidence. Guarding your mind against negativity is not just a defensive measure. It's an essential practice for fostering a healthy and empowered mindset. Negativity often finds its way into your life through external sources, conversations, media, environments, and most critically, the people around you. Think about how certain interactions leave you feeling drained, discouraged, or even doubting yourself. These aren't coincidences. People who constantly complain, criticize, or dwell on problems transmit their energy into your space, and over time, this can shape the way you think and feel. What makes negativity so dangerous is its subtlety. It rarely announces itself loudly. Instead, it creeps in through casual remarks, subtle judgments, or habitual pessimism. You might hear someone repeatedly say, "That's just how life is, hard and unfair." And before you know it, that belief becomes your own. Negativity, when absorbed, acts like a slow poison, eroding your optimism, creativity, and motivation. Guarding your mind starts with awareness. You must become conscious of the sources of negativity in your life. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with certain individuals or consuming specific types of content. Do you feel uplifted and inspired, or do you feel heavy and discouraged? This awareness is the first step in setting boundaries to protect your mental and emotional well-being. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or avoiding life's challenges. They're about choosing what you allow to influence you. When someone consistently brings negativity into your interactions, it's important to limit the time and energy you invest in that relationship. This doesn't mean you have to cut people off entirely, but it does mean being intentional about how much access they have to your thoughts and emotions. Another way negativity infiltrates your mind is through the content you consume. Social media, news, and entertainment can all play a role in shaping your mental state. Constant exposure to stories of conflict, failure, or despair can leave you feeling powerless and anxious. While it's important to stay informed, it's equally important to curate your input. Seek out uplifting, educational, and inspiring content that adds value to your life rather than detracting from it. One of the most effective strategies for guarding your mind is to counteract negativity with positivity. Just as a dark room is brightened by light, negative thoughts are weakened when replaced with positive ones. Practice gratitude, even in small moments. Focus on what's going right in your life instead of what's wrong. Surround yourself with people who encourage you and celebrate your successes. Internal dialogue also plays a crucial role. The way you speak to yourself matters. If you constantly criticize yourself or focus on your shortcomings, you become your own source of negativity. Practice speaking to yourself with kindness and understanding. Affirm your strengths, acknowledge your progress, and remind yourself of your worth. Mindfulness is another powerful tool. By staying present, you can catch negative thoughts before they spiral out of control. Instead of letting one bad moment ruin your day, pause and ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Often you'll realize it's not, and that realization gives you the power to shift your focus. Guarding your mind against negativity doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. Life will always have challenges, and difficult emotions are a natural part of the human experience. However, it's about choosing how you respond. You can face challenges without being consumed by them. You can acknowledge pain without letting it define you. Ultimately, protecting your mind is about taking responsibility for your mental environment. You can't control everything that happens around you, but you can control what you allow to take root within you. Choose to fill your mind with thoughts, ideas, and influences that uplift and empower you. The more intentional you are about guarding your mind, the more resilient you'll become in overcoming negativity and creating a life filled with purpose and possibility. Energy is one of the most influential yet underestimated forces in our lives. It's invisible but undeniable, shaping the way we feel, act, and think. Whether you realize it or not, the energy of the people around you has a profound impact on your own state of being. This is why it's often said that energy is contagious, because it spreads effortlessly, influencing the atmosphere of any space and the mood of everyone within it. Understanding this concept and applying it to your life Transform the way you navigate relationships, challenges, and personal growth. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt a shift in your mood? Perhaps the room was filled with laughter, and you couldn't help but smile and feel lighter. Or maybe the atmosphere was tense, and you felt uneasy even before anyone said a word. That's the power of energy at work. It's not just words or actions that affect us. It's the underlying emotional state of those around us. Positive energy has a way of lifting everyone it touches. When you're surrounded by people who are optimistic, driven, and supportive, their energy acts as a catalyst for your own growth. It inspires you to aim higher, work harder, and maintain a hopeful outlook, even when faced with challenges. These individuals radiate confidence and resilience, and their presence makes you feel capable of achieving more. They don't just talk about solutions, they embody them, and their energy encourages you to do the same. On the other hand, negative energy can be just as influential, but in the opposite direction. Being around people who constantly complain, criticize, or dwell on problems can drain your energy and lower your morale. These individuals often project their fears and frustrations onto others, creating an environment of doubt and hesitation. Without realizing it, you may begin to absorb their negativity, finding yourself more stressed, anxious, or unmotivated than before. The contagious nature of energy means that you must be intentional about the company you keep. Friendships aren't neutral. Either add to your life or take from it. The people you surround yourself with will either fuel your ambitions or stifle them. This is why it's so important to choose your inner circle carefully. Being selective doesn't mean judging others or dismissing people who are going through difficult times. It's about recognizing the impact someone's consistent energy has on you and setting boundaries when necessary. You can support someone without allowing their negativity to consume you. Similarly, you can distance yourself from toxic influences while still wishing those individuals well. Your own energy is equally important. Just as you're affected by the energy of others, you also influence those around you. Think of yourself as both a receiver and a transmitter. If you consistently project positivity, you'll attract like-minded individuals who share that energy. On the other hand, if you allow negativity to dominate your outlook, you may inadvertently create an environment that repels positivity and growth. To cultivate positive energy within yourself, start with self-awareness. Pay attention to how you feel and how your energy shifts in different environments or interactions. Notice what drains you and what invigorates you. Practice habits that recharge your energy, such as exercise, mindfulness, and spending time in nature. Surround yourself with uplifting influences, whether it's through the people you meet, the books you read, or the content you consume. Energy is also cyclical. It builds momentum. Positive energy attracts more positivity, creating a virtuous cycle of growth and inspiration. Similarly, negative energy can spiral, pulling you deeper into a state of stagnation or frustration. By being mindful of this dynamic, you can break free from negative cycles and actively contribute to positive ones. One of the most powerful realizations about energy is that it's not static. It can be changed. If you find yourself in a negative environment, you have the power to shift your perspective and protect your energy. This might mean physically removing yourself from a situation, but often it simply means choosing how you respond. You can maintain your optimism, focus on solutions, and refuse to let external negativity dictate your internal state. Ultimately, the contagious nature of energy reminds us that we are deeply interconnected. The energy you bring into the world doesn't just affect you, it ripples outward, touching everyone you interact with. When you prioritize positive energy, both in yourself and in the people you surround yourself with, you create an environment where growth, happiness, and resilience can thrive. This isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's about building a life that consistently uplifts and empowers you to reach your full potential. Practicing emotional discipline is one of the most transformative habits you can develop in life. It's about learning to manage your emotions effectively so they serve you rather than control you. This doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring your feelings. Rather, it's about cultivating the ability to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Emotional discipline is the cornerstone of personal growth. Healthy relationships and a resilient mindset
especially when faced with negativity or challenging circumstances.
Emotions are natural and necessary. They give life its color and depth. However, they can also be unpredictable and overwhelming, leading to decisions and actions that you might later regret. When emotions run unchecked, they can spiral into negative thought patterns, hurt relationships, and hinder progress toward your goals. Practicing emotional discipline allows you to channel your emotions constructively, ensuring that they enhance rather than hinder your life. One of the first steps in practicing emotional discipline is self-awareness. You cannot manage what you don't recognize. Take time to understand your emotional triggers, the situations, people, or events that tend to provoke strong reactions in you. For example, you might notice that certain criticisms leave you feeling defensive, or that unexpected challenges trigger frustration. By identifying these triggers, you can prepare yourself to respond more calmly and thoughtfully when they arise. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for developing emotional discipline. When you're mindful, you're fully present in the moment and attuned to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice helps you pause and observe your emotions before they escalate, instead of reacting instinctively to a situation. Mindfulness gives you the space to choose a response that aligns with your values and long-term goals. Emotional discipline also involves regulating your internal dialogue. How you talk to yourself in moments of stress or disappointment shapes your emotional state. If you constantly criticize or berate yourself, you'll amplify negative feelings and make it harder to recover. Instead, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge your feelings without judgment. Remind yourself that challenges are a natural part of life and focus on what you can learn or improve from the situation. Another key aspect of emotional discipline is learning to detach from the actions and opinions of others. It's easy to let someone else's negativity or behavior affect your mood, but remember that their emotions are not your responsibility. Emotional discipline means maintaining your equilibrium even when faced with external chaos. You can empathize with others without absorbing their stress or letting their behavior dictate your peace of mind. Building this skill requires patience and practice. Start by recognizing that emotions like waves rise and fall. Even the most intense feelings are temporary. When you're in the grip of anger, sadness, or frustration, remind yourself that these emotions will pass. This perspective can help you avoid making impulsive decisions based on fleeting feelings. Breathing exercises and other relaxation techniques can also support emotional discipline. When emotions run high, your body often responds with physical tension, rapid heartbeat, or shallow breathing. By taking slow, deep breaths, you can calm your nervous system and create a sense of balance. This simple practice can prevent emotional reactions from escalating and give you the clarity needed to choose your next steps. Wisely, emotional discipline doesn't mean becoming indifferent or detached from life's challenges. On the contrary, it's about fully engaging with your experiences while maintaining control over how you respond. It empowers you to face difficult situations with grace and resilience, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. Practicing emotional discipline leads to greater self-confidence and inner peace. You'll trust yourself to handle life's ups and downs without being overwhelmed or derailed. This stability not only benefits you, but also enhances your relationships. When you're emotionally disciplined, you communicate more effectively, resolve conflicts constructively, and inspire trust and respect in others. In a world that often encourages instant reactions and emotional outbursts, practicing emotional discipline is a rare and valuable skill. It allows you to rise above negativity, stay true to your values, and create a life guided by purpose rather than impulse. While it takes time and effort to develop, the rewards of emotional discipline are profound. A mind that is clear, a heart that is steady, and a life that reflects your highest potential. That's a fundamental pillar of personal fulfillment and emotional resilience. It is the intrinsic sense of value you assign to yourself, independent of external validation, achievements, or the opinions of others. When you understand and embrace your self-worth, you create a strong foundation for a life rooted in confidence, purpose, and authenticity. Without it, you become susceptible to negativity, self-doubt, and the harmful influence of others. The role of self-worth in shaping your life cannot be overstated. It determines how you see yourself, how you allow others to treat you, and how you navigate challenges and opportunities. At its core, self-worth begins with the recognition that you are inherently valuable simply because you exist. This is not about arrogance or entitlement. It's about understanding that your worth does not need to be earned or justified. Too often, people tie their sense of value to their accomplishments, possessions, or relationships. While these things can bring joy and meaning, they are external and subject to change. True self-worth comes from within and remains constant regardless of external circumstances. When you possess a strong sense of self-worth, you establish healthy boundaries. You recognize that your time, energy, and emotions are precious, and you're selective about who and what you allow into your life. This doesn't mean shutting people out or avoiding challenges. It means being intentional about protecting your well-being. You're less likely to tolerate toxic relationships, negative environments, or behaviors that undermine your growth because you understand that you deserve better. Self-worth also plays a critical role in overcoming negativity. When you value yourself, you're less likely to internalize criticism or allow the opinions of others to dictate your self-perception. Instead of being shaken by rejection or setbacks, you view them as part of life's natural ebb and flow. You understand that your worth isn't diminished by a single failure or mistake. This mindset helps you bounce back more quickly and remain focused on your goals. Moreover, a strong sense of self-worth empowers you to pursue your dreams unapologetically. It frees you from the fear of judgment and the need for external approval. You're more willing to take risks, explore new opportunities, and express your authentic self because you trust in your ability to navigate challenges and thrive. This confidence doesn't just benefit you. It inspires those around you and creates a ripple effect of positivity and possibility. On the flip side, a lack of self-worth can leave you vulnerable to negative influences. When you don't believe in your own value, you may seek validation from others, often at the expense of your well-being. This can lead to people-pleasing behaviors, staying in unhealthy relationships, or accepting less than you deserve. Without a strong foundation of self-worth, it's easy to become trapped in cycles of self-doubt and insecurity, which only reinforce feelings of inadequacy. Building and maintaining self-worth requires consistent effort and self-reflection. One of the most effective ways to cultivate self-worth is to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. Acknowledge your strengths and accomplishments and forgive yourself for your mistakes. Imperfection is a part of being, and it doesn't diminish your value. Another powerful practice is affirming your worth through positive self-talk. Replace critical or self-deprecating thoughts with affirmations that reflect your inherent value. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," remind yourself, "I am worthy just as I am." Over time, these affirmations can reshape your mindset and strengthen your belief in your own worth. Surrounding yourself with supportive and uplifting people also reinforces your sense of self-worth. When you're around individuals who appreciate and respect you, their positive energy helps validate and amplify your own sense of value. Distancing yourself from those who diminish or disrespect you is an act of self-worth in itself. Ultimately, self-worth is not about perfection or achievement. It's about embracing who you are, flaws and all. It's about recognizing that you are deserving of love, respect, and happiness simply because you exist. You create a life that reflects your true potential. You attract relationships, opportunities, and experiences that align with your value. And you navigate challenges with grace and resilience. The role of self-worth in your life is transformative. It's the key to breaking free from negativity, cultivating meaningful connections, and pursuing your dreams with confidence. By honoring your self-worth, you step into your power and create a life that is not just successful, but deeply fulfilling.